I'm in East Grinstead, probably the weirdest town in the whole country. It's not weird because of the town, it's weird because of some of the religions, organisations and, dare I say it, cults that have taken up residence here. This gets really odd, please stick with it.
East Grinstead itself is just a bland, boring town. The first of its weird residents, though, are at St Hill Manor. And of course it's our old friends, the Scientologists, and their obscure beliefs.
So a really long story short, the Scientologists believe that 75 million years ago this section of the galaxy was overpopulated, so the evil Lord Xenu rounded up billions of the alien species, brought them all to Earth, dumped them in the volcanoes in Hawaii. Their spirits then went floating up into the atmosphere, and these days those confused spirits attach themselves to us. They're called body thetans, and that's where a lot of our negativity comes from. L. Ron Hubbard, the founder of Scientology, wrote most of his stories here, and now it's a major pilgrimage spot for Scientologists all over the world, including the celebrities. Tom Cruise spent lockdown 1 here. He also bought a house for about 4 million quid nearby, which he has now since sold to Peter Andre. Peter Andre has nothing to do with Scientology. I told you East Grinstead was weird. It gets weirder. Behind me is Wickenden Manor, where the secretive Opus Dei meet. They are an institution from within the Catholic Church that I'm sure are completely above board. Because of libel and slander laws, I'm not going to say anything that they've been accused of. You'll have to Google it. But like I say, I'm sure it's all completely fine. You know the albino assassin monk in the Da Vinci Code, the really scary guy? Yeah, he's from Opus Dei.
The Mormons have set up a major temple in East Grinstead. I don't want to be horrible about the Mormons, but their men can get married as many times as they want, and I'm always suspicious of a religion where the men can hoard wives. With the most secretive organisation still to come, I know you're asking, why is a town with a Wetherspoons that looks like a strip club such a hotbed for all of these obscure groups?
One theory is East Grinstead sits on the prime meridian, the meridian line which separates the Western Hemisphere from the Eastern Hemisphere. I'm walking straight along it now, so half of me is in the east, the other half of me is in the west, but lots of other places in the world sit on the prime meridian. But East Grinstead also has these things underneath it called ley lines. I don't really know what ley lines are, but someone in the comments who collects crystals will tell us, I'm sure. So you combine the meridian line with the ley lines that run underneath the ground here, and that could be why so many groups have gathered here. I don't know though, that's just a theory.
Let's get to the interesting one, the Rosicrucian Order.
Now, the Rosicrucian Order are said to guard and study secrets around physics, the universe, and our psychology, and even healing. They've learnt from the teachings of Solon, Pythagoras, and the ancient Egyptians, amongst many others. Now, this is quite interesting because Plato told us that Solon went and learnt off the ancient Egyptian priests about Atlantis. Obviously, Atlantis did things differently with how they generated energy and moved around and healed and things like that. So if this mob behind me know anything about any of that, it would be nice if they shared it with the rest of us. I'm now in the woodland next to the town, and this is where it's said that the druids and the pagans and the Satanists come and do whatever it is they do on an evening. And I know what you're all thinking, out of everything going on in East Grinstead, this is probably where the fun is.
And you'd be right, the only other thing there is to do in East Grinstead is a little steam train line. The most terrifying group or organisation in East Grinstead? Well, you guessed it, they have an Iceland.